Hi everyone, Joe Kehrig, Managing Broker of Coldwell Banker Real Estate in Danville, and welcome to This Week in Real Estate in the San Ramon Valley, the week of June 8th. And I just want to welcome you here, and if you got this via email, kind of an intro to the email. This week, Coldwell Banker is celebrating our frontline workers. And so if you got the email, if you didn't get the email, again, celebrating those people who have gotten us through the COVID-19. I know we're not all the way through it, but you'll see in a couple slides how much more now is opening up. But if you didn't get the email, or even if you did, I just want to give you some organizations that we can help that have basically gotten us through, the last 3 months. First off, active military and veterans, Home for Our Troops, Hope for the Warriors, Operation Homefront, United States Service Organization, the USO, and First Responders, the First Responders Children Foundation, the Gary Sinise Foundation, National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Fund, and the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation. And then food service workers, the James Beard Foundation, One Fair Wage Emergency Fund, restaurant workers, Community Foundation, Frontline Foods, Hospital Heroes, New York City Health and Hospitals, Off Their Plates, and Project Hope. Truck drivers also, let's not forget the truck drivers. St. Christopher's Truckers Development and Relief Fund, and Truckers Final Mile.org. So take a look at the email, and if there's any of these organizations we can give back to, please do. First off, the good news. Let's look at the first slide. And I put these in here so you could actually, make screenshots of them and see it. Because I get asked all the time, hey, what's open? Are your offices open? Whatever. Right now in Contra Costa County, businesses can be open. But I will tell you with the real estate office, it's so strict as far as the Situations Act. If we opened it up to clients, if someone uses the restroom, we have to sanitize the restroom after every time someone uses it. So we're trying to sort through, what the requirements actually are. They're obviously open for the real estate agents to come and go, and kind of seeing clients making appointments there, but not really people coming in and out until we really figure this out, because again, it was just open in the last week. And you can see the Contra Costa County road ahead for our community. And then also, the next slide will basically show you what's open. And again, take screenshots. It will help tell you everything that's open. It also basically tells you what's going to open down the line. And so again, almost everything is open with some obviously limitations. So, like I said, we always have to be careful. We've definitely flattened the curve. Now we just have to make sure it stays flat and we don't endanger anybody else. Real estate, we definitely are in a position where we can, basically completely function with some, obviously no open houses, no broker tours, but we can show occupied property, vacant property, we can bring workers in, but we're restricted, obviously, face masks, sanitizing in and out. And with occupied properties, homeowners got to be gone. And we're basically one agent and 2 people in the house. What we're basically doing on occupied properties, with Coldwell Banker, we're meeting the agent and their clients out there. We're opening up the house, turning all the lights so they don't have to touch anything. We actually have hand sanitizers. We're sanitizing the agent and his clients going in, sanitizing them going out, wiping down anything that they touch. And obviously that's with the homeowner not home. That's a requirement. And obviously everyone wears a face mask, booties, as they walk through the property. But I will tell you, and you'll see, as you've seen the last couple of weeks, the market is very active. First off, one of the things, if you look at the slide that people ask me about, they go, okay, the market's great, Joe, but what about unemployment? And I'll tell you the funny thing about unemployment that just happened in the last week that, shocked all the soothsayers of doom. I actually heard a commentator on CNN News that, and really all over, not just with CNN, but they were basically thinking that the unemployment would go from 14.7% up to 20%, that we'd have another 9 million people file for unemployment. Well, actually what happened is it shocked everyone. Unemployment went down 2.5 million. And so the unemployment rate actually went down to 13.3%. So it's first time in months. And if you look at the chart, you hear all those 40 million people are unemployed. But what it's not telling you is that there's only 21 million people currently collecting unemployment. Because when they talk about 40 million people filing unemployment, they don't talk about, the people that have come back to work. And 80% of the people that are on unemployment, collecting unemployment, expect to have their jobs back within months. So what we're finding in real estate, not all businesses, and obviously restaurants are still hurt. That's why we're still really pushing, even though they can have dining outside and Contra Costa, we're really pushing, the pick up the meals and supporting the restaurants. But one of the things that with unemployment, a lot of the workers that will come back through obviously the service, the jobs, the hotels, those the people working in the restaurants. So obviously, please support our restaurants out there because it's very tough. You can only open up outside right now. That's probably only 20% capacity of what they're used to. But so, the one thing we talk about the real estate market, which you'll see, is June 1st, we're in the spring market. If you follow real estate, you'll know that, February, March, April, May are the busiest months in the real estate business. Well, what the real estate business has done, because it was so strong going in, with February basically being the best February in 13 years, that all it did was really pause because the lack of inventory and the demand for housing and the low interest rates, it's all still there. So we just knew it was going to kind of be a pause, and that's exactly what happened. Is they talk about now June, this is our new spring. So in the real estate market, this is spring, and we're going to have a very active next 3 months. If you look at the stats, and you'll see the same thing that we've been seeing the last 3 weeks. The active properties, here's San Ramon. The active properties are basically staying pretty consistent or even going down, but look at the pending sales. The pending sales in San Ramon alone have gone up, 12 properties. And then when you count in the 14 closed sales, you have 26 pendings that happened last week just in San Ramon. So you can see the pending sales are continually going up. And to remind you again, as I did last week, it's really all about the absorption. We knew more homes are going to come on the market, which they did about a month ago. And we know in the next 2 to 3 months, there's going to be more listings that come on the market, but it is all about the absorption rate. And right now we're seeing the absorption rate actually outpace the active listings. So if this goes on for a few more weeks, we're going to be right back to where we were in February. But I think we do expect, because what's happened, as of in the last 30 days, we've been able now to get workers into the property. So, there's a lot of homes that are prepping. There's a lot of agents in my office that are prepping the homes, getting ready to go on the market. So you can see San Ramon. Look at Danville, same type of thing. The active properties are staying pretty consistent, but again, the pending properties are still going up. So you have a great absorption rate there. Same thing when you look in BLACKHAWK. You can see actually the pending sales are stayed pretty steady, but you can see the inventory has dropped just a little bit. So that market is still gaining on itself as far as the absorption. Then when you look at ALAMO, you can see the pending sales are up, and look at the active properties are way down. Because again, as I talked about in the previous weeks, you can drop me any place in the United States, and it's all about the actives and the pendings. Show me the actives and pendings, and I can tell you where the market's going. Well, when you look at these slides I'm showing you for Danville, Alamo, and BLACKHAWK, and San Ramon, you can see that the pendings are outpacing the new listings. So that's where the market's going. I think it's a good time. It's one of those rare times where in February, it was a tough being a buyer. You were getting multiple offers with everything. Almost everything was going for asking price or over asking price. And so now the market is very active, but there's more listings. So what you're finding, if you look at the next slide, you're finding that things aren't necessarily selling for over asking price, but they're still solid prices. You can see in San Ramon, 98% of asking. That's a little bit lower, but remember, 26 homes went pending. The more homes that go pending, the more you'll see that dip a little bit, but still 98% of asking. Look at Danville, 99%, BLACKHAWK, 98%, and Alamo just had 3 sales, and 2 of them went for over asking, so over 100%, almost 103% of asking price. So the market is just so active right now. But it's one of the rare times that it's good to be a buyer and a seller. It's good to be a seller because if you have a well-priced, nice home, ready to go, it's going to sell, and it's probably going to sell around asking price. Now, as a buyer, the nice part is what you see is there's not a lot of things are selling around asking, but it's not like there's not a ton going way above asking. So you're not getting into as much of the bidding wars. Now, having said that, you still see the bidding wars, sometimes 8 to 10 and offers, and that's in the lower price range. But for the most part, 1 offer, 2 offers. There's an agent in my office that basically sold 4 buyer properties. I mean, he put 4 buyers in the homes last week. And so he was able to, and he got everyone he wrote on. And they paid around asking. He was in a bidding war against a couple, just an agent here or there for the most part. So it's one of those rare times where it's good to be a seller and it's good to be a buyer. So if you have any questions about the market at all, please give me a call. Again, Joe Kehrig, managing broker of Coldwell Banker Danville. My number is 925-487-6838. Or you can reach me at joe.kehrig@cbrealty.com. Again, joe.kehrig@cbrealty.com. As I say every week, have a great week, and may God bless you, and God bless our country and the world. And if you, like I said at the beginning of the video, our first responders and the people that are out there that helped get us through the last 3 months. So have a great week, and can't wait to see you next week.